And welcome back to another video on the rest of and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And WWE and TNA's partnership has led to some interesting interactions recently, but things picked up this week with Moose and the Hardy Boys coming over from TNA for matches on this week's show. So yeah, big episode of NXT coming up, but we start things off with Stephanie Vicker taking on Carmen Petrovic, and the women's North American title was on the line in this match. Ashante the Adonis accompanied the challengers to the ring. They kept things technical at first and traded some takedowns and near falls. It took a couple of minutes before they started incorporating strikes into their offense. They used a steady pace for this bout so they could use the intensity of short bursts of time. The crowd was vocal during these sequences, but its silence during the less exciting moments was just as noticeable. It was a solid outing from two women who have been important figures in NXT Women's Division 2025. They did a good job escalating the action, so it was most exciting towards the end. Vicker picked up a hard-fought win to retain the title. Julia came out and they agreed to have a match to determine who the best champ was. And yeah, that's going to be excellent. I hope you don't just rush into the programme with these two because you could really build it up. But yeah, it's going to be great when we get it. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Lexis King then gave a shot at TNA title this week when he challenged Moose for the X Division Championship. His Heritage Cup was not on the line, so he had nothing to lose. King avoided a shot in a corner, but Moose hit him with a huge chopper a moment later. The challenger was already having trouble breathing, and then the second one hit. King began to build some momentum, but one big slam from Moose put him back on the mat. This ended up being a far more competitive match than expected. It would have been reasonable for Moose to win in dominant fashion, set up over Femi. So seeing King get so close to win was a shock. Moose showed off his agility, a springboard crossbody, and a strength of a powerbomb, but King found enough life to kick out, and it took a huge bit to put him away. Femi immediately showed up to confront him. So yeah, maybe thought we could have built King Moose up a bit more, but still a decent showing for King. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. We then got Jordan Grace coming out to give a promo before she was interrupted by Roxanne Perez. The segment ended with Grace knocking the Prodigy out in the ring. Surprised to see Roxanne here. I thought she was fully on main roster now, but maybe putting a Grace over before she goes could be something to do. Maybe we'll get it the next pay-per-view or something. Tavian Heights and Miles Bourne then had the biggest opportunity of their career when they challenged the Hardys for the TNT tag titles. Heights tried to bully Jeff with his power at first, but the veteran fight back. This is a competitive back and forth leading to a commercial break. Fraxion was sat on the ramp watching the action when we returned. The Hardys hit a classic twist of fate and swanton to get the win. Heights and Bourne helped make this a fun and frenetic match. The Hardys will always be popular, but it felt like the rookies were the ones working hardest here. But to be honest, I don't mind now. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was great. Just to see the Hardys on NXT back on WWE TV was so great, and it feels like automatically whoever they face, even if they lose, it will elevate them working with such a legendary tag team. So yeah, for me this really works. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. We then got Lola Vice taking on Ariana Grace, and Grace talked herself into a match against Vice this week. Grace landed the first couple of strikes, but it did make Vice angry. This wasn't as one-sided as one would expect. Grace got in a lot more offense than expected when Vice started taking her apart with kicks. Vice picked up a relatively short and easy win. Her celebration was interrupted by the new group in NXT, causing some mayhem backstage though. So yeah, on the whole, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I thought it was, alright. Wasn't really much to it. Just kind of felt like one that was set up on the night, and yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, like I say, wasn't much to it, and don't think it'll be one that lives too long in the memory. Before we moved on to our main event, that was Ricky Saints making his NXT debut and Javon Evans teaming up to take on Wesley and Ethan Page. Evans went right after all ego to get the match started, but Page tagged out to Lee almost immediately. Saints tagged in and levelled Lee with a back elbow. These two teams were evenly matched in a lot of ways, but Evans and Lee were quick high flyers, while Page and Saints had more versatile matches. It was a fun encounter, but it didn't feel like the kind of special debut we should get for Saints in WWE. He picked up the win for his team by pinning Lee with his finisher. But yeah, that was about it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's still good to see him in an NXT ring, but yeah, it just maybe felt it could have been more high key. But still a fun main event to close off the show. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Overall, this week's episode of NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Funny episode of NXT. Obviously, quite a lot of high-profile matches and stuff going on this week's show. But nothing that I don't think will really live too long in the memory. But there were some really cool moments, like seeing Starks in an AEW, in a WWE ring, and the Hardy Boys returning as well as Moose, of course. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme, and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.